Yeah, we say bench more. We call it a countertop. What about you guys? I want to know, in your family, in your life, do you call it a bench, or what do you call a... Delirium says bench as well. Feels good, man, when you got at least one person saying yes. No, no worries. Yeah, everyone uses different terms. It's all good. It's learning what other people use. I don't feel judged at all. I feel insulted. No, not really, you're kidding. Punk Princess uses countertop. Welcome back. See, Matala, how the bloody heck are you? She's back. Now, I need lemon juice and vanilla. All right. I'll tell you something. I went out and I got all these new tins. Okay, oh, I didn't go out. I got them delivered. I got all these new spice jars, because you know how I've been saying I really want bigger ones for the mainly used spices. So when I went out, I went onto Kmart's website and I got all these spice jars, right? They're amazing. I really like the size of them. Lovely. Kmart, $3 or $4 each, whatever. Fabulous. Love them. I got 12. I was like, shouldn't need any. Like, we'll just get 12, see how they go, and we'll get more. They're fantastic. I bought 12, filled them all, need more, maybe another 12. They're sold out, and I don't know if they're coming back. And I'm just really stressed because I want them to all be the same. Like, because I've got my smaller ones, like in here, the spices that I use irregularly, but I want the mainly used spices, a bigger container. Kanara, welcome in. It's so lovely to see you. I hope your shroom was really great. I was there for the raid. Yeah, usually when I'm with someone and I see them in the morning, I'm like, oh, I hope the rest of your shroom was good. It's just a habit, but I was there for the raid. I hope the cleanup was good. The food looked delicious. Interesting, the black noodles. I did get sent a lovely oil pourer. It's so fabulous, from the wonderful Liz. It was handmade from a potter. Yes. Klingonga. Yeah, it was good. So yes, I love it. It sits up here. It's a little bit high to go in the drawer, but I have access to it. It just sits up above the stove, which is fantastic. Good remembering. Oh yeah, so that was just my little story. I went and bought these. Being all fancy, I thought, you know, this is cinnamon. I'm going to use the Cricut to write the name on them and have them all organized. But then they've got like oregano, salt. I've got 2 different types of salt, chili flakes and whatever. And I just thought they looked really pretty in the drawer. But now they're sold out everywhere. So I don't know if that means they're going to get them back in, or they're sold out, like they're never going to come back again. And that would make me really sad, because I really wanted spice jars that were square, because then they go in and sit neatly together. The ones I'm currently using, I just find that they're way too small for everyday spices. I feel like I have to restock them all the time. And because they're circular, there's just all of this wasted space in there. Like, they don't sit nicely. And there's 2, 4, 5. There's like 15. There's 20 main spices I use, and then the rest of them are in this, you can't really see, but there's a 2-layered drawer. Let's see if you can see here. You see? So I can just turn my back, and then you've got like Szechuan peppercorns and Chinese 5-spice, and then you do that. And then there's more in there too, just like the fill-up station. I'd say they will bring them back. I hope so. They were at Kmart, which is kind of like Target in Australia. I know Kmart in the US is sold out, is like kind of closed down, but it's still going in Australia. And it has a huge homeware kind of section. It's been great. All right, back to this. We're making pressure cooker cheesecake from All In Together. our cookbook for M. Potzler's Redemption. Taking me way longer than it needs to. Grab yourself out. Molly, you'll hate me, but they're in stock in all the, fuck off. Delirium. Why can't I get them delivered then? Are they like the $4 ones? Why won't it let me, maybe they restocked this morning. I'm gonna check, because I checked on Saturday, I checked on Sunday, and maybe they've just restocked their warehouse. Because it wouldn't let me it said like click and collect. There was one at like 3 stores around me. They all had one each. $4.50, yeah, I assume it's the same one. Okay, cool. If all else fails, I'll buy them and get them delivered to your house and then you can send them to All right. I'm just hoping that they had some stock issue and they got a new container load over the last few hours. And I just thought it was very strange. I was like, why can't I get them delivered from anywhere else? Surely the rest of Australia has stock. All right, so we've got a teaspoon of lemon, half a teaspoon of lemon zest, and then we're going to juice this as well. That's a lot of spices. I have like 5. I have a lot that I don't use as frequently, but when it comes to savory cooking, the main used spices I use is salt and black pepper, of course. Garlic powder, paprika, cumin, and chili flakes. They're like my main 6 spices. And then for sweet stuff, I use cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, some clove, cardamom. Probably my go-to spices. So they're the ones I mainly have in here. Then I have like stock powders, some varieties of salt. So I have flake salt, smoked flake salt, kosher salt, and then I have like grinding salt, like fine salt. Yeah. Those are my main 2 with Italian herbs. Yeah, so oregano is big for me. Juice in here. So the prep time for this recipe is like 10 minutes, but I just have been talking for the last hour and a half. Back on here, give it a mix. Guys, if you haven't seen The Wonderful Kanara as well, such a really great cooking stream on a few hours earlier than us. And I was in her stream this morning, she was doing a Star Trek cooking stream. I know a lot of you guys are Trekkies. What? Hold on. Put this on. There we go. Right way. Now, just combine that. So we've got cream cheese, sour cream, sugar, corn flour or cornstarch, lemon juice, 2 eggs, and vanilla. Here it is. How many of you guys have like a core spice blend, spice repertoire like that? You don't want to whip in too much air because then it creates a bigger rise in your cake and then it will deflate. So you want to just whip it a little bit so that it comes together and nice and mixed, but it's not too airy. Isn't it hard when a recipe says whip it to incorporate air, but not too much? Do it like this, but not that much. Knead it, but not too much, but not enough. Don't under knead it, but also over knead it. Don't salt, but under salt, but over salt at the same time can be an issue. I have more spices for my coffee than food. Vanilla, almond extract, cinnamon, nutmeg, and sugar. Oh, damn. Have you ever tried cardamom in your coffee? Ground cardamom? Really quite good for you. Salt. You're good? So you just walk past video. It's got headphones on. Alrighty. Okay. I love cardamom in my tea. Do you just drink like black tea with cardamom, or are you like a masala type fan? Put this all away. Both really nice. Yeah, I think cardamom is underappreciated spice. Indian teas. Oh. Okay, so when you say an Indian tea, what defines an Indian tea? Like that. Look at that. Very nice. It's so creamy. Can you believe this is going to be cooked in a pressure cooker? It's got a few crumbles. Can you see the from the cookie base? Because I didn't clean out the food processor, which is not really needed. Assam. Oh, I didn't know Assam was an Indian tea. Interesting. Well, I didn't really know a lot of the origins of specific teas, actually. Thank you for teaching me. I have a big bag of Assam tea, actually. I grabbed it on sale. And I bought it with the intent to create my own chai. What is the base? We're using chocolate graham crackers. They're my last bag, little satchel of chocolate graham crackers. And then I only have three. We're not sure if they're cinnamon or they're plain, but we have 3 little bags left. That's it. Leftover from either you, Al, or Jules. All of the graham crackers, because I hoard them, right? Because I just try and keep them and never use them because they're like hot property. I was saying I'm not a huge fan of the cinnamon ones. I like the plain ones. The chocolate are good as well for cheesecakes, but the original are the best. Yeah. Like I said, like I am so terrified of, I want it, but then I also want to keep it, so I don't use it. Because then once you cook with, because it's so hard to get, I never know when I'll ever be able to get it again. So I'm really picky and choosy with what I use it for. Except for mini M&Ms. Yeah, the mini M&Ms are gone. I did use them. They were so good. And you can get mini M&Ms in Australia now. I found that. You can get them in bags, which is fantastic. I did grab some of them. And the next evening I ate them, or I got to bake with them. But we are going to be making mini M&M or M&M muffins next week. Shout out to all the Aussie parents out there. Kids are back at school. Are they? Okay, so that is your cheesecake. You can kind of even it out. I thought I did. There we go. Like that. But yeah, American foods that I love that I can't get my hands on, or really hard. Ghirardelli mini choc chips, or semi-sweet or bittersweet. Graham crackers, ranch dressing, or I really love the ranch powder. If you guys have ever had the ranch powder. What else do I What other foods, American foods, do I love? The mini choc chips are probably one of the biggest, and graham crackers. Right. So we're following the recipe as it's written. It will start with step 1, 2, 3, 4, which is both cooking methods. Oh, cashew berry fruitful, yes. Oh my God, I can't believe you remember. Oh my goodness. And then we go down to either slow cooker section or the pressure cooker section. So we're gonna deviate to the right and we're gonna do step 5A. Place the trivet in the cooker and add 1 cup of water. So this is our pressure cooker. There. This is in. And then it says, sit the vessel on top of the trivet, but we need to add the aluminium first. Cook on high for 4 minutes and then allow pressure to naturally release. So because I'm doing this in a larger tin, we're gonna go to the tips, and it says, make it in a large cheesecake, use a 6-inch or a 15-centimeter springform pan. We're using a little bit larger. It says cook on high for 12 minutes in the pressure cooker. Cool. The Meal Squad, welcome in. We have been streaming for 1 hour and 45 minutes. We have been chatting, we did last time on. We haven't done All Things Food yet, but we showed you the new pantry cam with the supporter wall up there. We've been chatting, we've made cheesecake, it's just about to go in the oven. Then we're getting into the mushroom risotto, and that is your 30-second recap. Okay, so nice and tight. You just want to pinch the edges like that, turn around. Matala, how did the girls go off to school today? Was all right? Any tears anymore? Are we in term 3? Is term 3 starting? I miss corn dogs and tater tots. Tater tots is, we call them, what do we call tater tots? Potato gems. Corn dogs, I think you can buy, and they're called Dagwood dogs if you go to a fair, but I also think you sometimes can buy them in the freezer section. Maybe someone else would know. Okay, and because we don't have a sling, this is another idea for you if you want, is get some aluminium foil like this, roll it up, like that. Basically, it just goes underneath this, like that, so you can help pull it out of this. Not in England, interesting, okay. So putting some water in here, we need at least 1 cup. 1 cup of water will allow you to create enough steam that the pressure cooker will pressurize and then cook. You could use more than 1 cup if you'd like. It doesn't really make a huge amount of difference. Okay. Ready. Oh my God. It's not fitting because of the aluminium foil. That's why it says a 6-inch, 18 centimeter. I'm using an 8-inch because I can't find my other one. Okay. Fabulous. Lock it, load it, 12 minutes. If you find the lid. How easy. It's actually very simple. It took me a little bit longer because I was chatting. Okay, so when you're putting a pressure cooker lid on, you just want to create a nice tight seal. By doing that, you want to make sure that the gasket is in place. Lock it like that. Then you want to close this here. So this spins around. Each one's different. Like that. Like this. And then, so that's locked. High pressure. No pressure, Molly, but I have to leave in 20 minutes. Okay, that's fine. You can watch the VOD. It's all good. Pressure. It's probably going to take longer that to pressurize, so. It's all good, and okay. But there is pressure, because we're under pressure. Like, Reg, how long have you been in England for? So you're natively born in the US? Whereabouts? And what made you move? Is anyone living, how many of you guys are living in a different country than you were born? So maybe you were traveling around like with your family because, you know, the military, or because you moved countries for work, maybe you moved countries for love, you were born in a country and then moved, you know, when you were really, really young. No, I lived in the US. Oh, okay, so you're originally from England and you moved into the US for 2 years. Good morning. I tried to sleep but was a fail, so came to hang out. How did you sleep? Is it already started getting hot for you? The milk's good? My mum was in labor and crossed the border to have me. Oh, really? And what's that? Interesting. So from your mum is Mexican, right? I remember you telling me that. Antamina, welcome in, welcome back. That's really cool. I was reading, I don't know how it came about. I was reading about like if babies are born on a plane. Yes, but married to US citizens are technically no legal.
Delicious.
Hello back pocket. Welcome in everyone. We just put the cheesecake in the pressure cooker. So we're making a recipe from our new cookbook, All In Together Slow and Pressure. We're making a pressure cooker cheesecake. We're gonna be making caramel sauce for that. We're making mushroom risotto. I'm gonna try and teach you how to make cheesecake at home. No fuss. Like I just feel like there's a lot of stress and there's a lot of kind of pressure put on risotto because you get it at a restaurant and how hard it is to make at home. I am going to teach you a delicious recipe, easy peasy, that you can make all the time, and it's super versatile. You can add whatever you want it, whatever flavors, and yeah, you don't have to be pedantic. It's fantastic. Pressure cooker cheesecake, interesting. It is. Welcome back, little Phoenix. Reese, how you been? We're doing, the base cheesecake is kind of like a New York style cheesecake. And then we're going to do I'm thinking a salted caramel or a rosemary salted caramel topping. But I don't know. So at least caramel, but I'm not sure if we infuse it with anything. So I'm open to suggestions. Coastal City, welcome. Definitely let them eat cake, cheesecake. It's warm. Today's temperatures are due to hit 37 degrees Celsius. So not too hot. Rosemary caramel is so good. It is, but I'm just wondering if it might be too overwhelming for a whole cheesecake. We're doing like a 20 centimeter, 8-inch cheesecake. If the rosemary caramel would be too much. Is there a link? !AIT. So this one is All In Together. This is the slow cooker, pressure cooker cookbook that we've just released. And then we have First Things First as well. So !AIT, that will take you to our shop. There's an ebook and a physical version as well, and free shipping to Australia and North America. Would the rosemary make the caramel less sweet? Well, you can make it as the caramel as sweet as you like. The rosemary flavor is just gonna add like a little bit of kind of earthiness to it, and usually you would match that with like a salted caramel as well to then balance out some of the sweetness. So yeah, for all intents and purposes, yeah, it would make it taste less sweet, more kind of earthy, and it's really good. But I just don't know if exactly like it. We can try it out. I can show you how to make it. Fresh rosemary from your garden is best, but you can use the dry stuff as well. The only thing is the fresh stuff from your garden or someone else's garden has all those really fresh, intense oils. If you don't have that, you can use the rosemary oil, the food-based, you know, the really good quality essential oils. You can use some of that in your cooking as well, if you guys didn't know. Like, I don't know if they promote it as food safe, but like doTERRA, I think I think those type of oils you can use in your food. I've seen a lot of people use them in their water bottles and to flavor their water and their food, but I don't know if they're promoted for that. Dried herbs would be more intense. Yes, to a degree, but it just doesn't have the same kick of flavor. I try and use as much fresh as possible, especially when it comes to rosemary. I just don't get the same kick out of dry rosemary than fresh does. But for this type of purpose, you can definitely use it. I really enjoy herby. Oh, but holy crap, guys! Welcome into from Back Pocket stream. I just got busy talking about the cheesecake and what we were doing as an introduction, and then I just started babbling. Welcome in. Welcome to the kitchen. How was the stream? The Back Pocket team are so lovely. Were you guys doing? Okay, so Monday news. What was on today's stream, Shaddy? What were they up to? Who was it? It was the morning news. Hey, welcome back. With Kate. Really? Heck yeah. So who was it? Was it Kate and the whole team? Obviously, sometimes it's just like Pete and Nick, or who was Nick and Pete? Nice. Lovely. That would have been awesome. Well, thank you everyone for coming over in the raid. Nice. Pert. I think Pert is a better name. Everyone excited for Stray? Stray a game? But for those that are new, my name is Molly. I've done a terrible job of introduction in the introduction of my stream and who we are and welcoming you guys in. The idea is pulling up a chair, come and hang out with us. We talk about different types of food, we talk about different topics, but basically it's a cooking stream, really interactive. The focus is on just being as though you're sitting at the table, a kitchen bench. We've just learnt that we like to call it in Australia. Everyone calls it a kitchen counter. And you just chat with your friends, and like your friends or family. We do a little bit of behind the scenes stuff from, like, we're about to create a new website and you'll see me doing food photography and recipe prep for that. We do a little bit of themed food from video games, TV shows and movies, and it's just a little bit of food, fun and fumbles. You're a cat in the game and it's called Stray. Oh, I've never heard of it. Well, I guess in the US they do counter lunches. Yeah, they don't call them bench lunches. Stray looks amazing. Do we know what's going to be available? You guys are going to have to link it in Discord. I have not heard about this game. 19th. Oh, look at. Okay, make a comment. Let me know how many of you have heard of Stray or excited for Stray. I just want to gauge some interest because it seems like a lot of you are pretty keen. A lot of you have cats as well. You're crazy cat people. Okay, that's pressurizing. We're going to get into the risotto right now. And we'll also make our caramel. I think we could do the caramel first. Cream and sugar, basically. Cream and sugar. You could use 2 easy ingredients to make a caramel. Basically, you're just cooking sugar on the stove until it starts to caramelize and brown, and then we add the cream. Or you can use a Cheats caramel, like a water-based caramel, where you add a bit of water into the sugar. It helps it to stabilize a little bit better. Or you could add some glucose or corn syrup as well. And part of the glucose is, it's called an inert sugar. So it means that it will help the stabilization of the caramel, prevent it from crystallizing, and then it will set you up for success. And it's my tip that I've been doing a lot more of since I've learned about inert sugars, because the challenge with making caramel is it's a little bit scary, because some people say to swirl it, some people say to mix it, some people say don't touch it at all. And when it does caramelize, it makes you really sad. Oh, sorry, not when it caramelizes, when your sugars seize it makes you really sad. So if I can set you up for success and prevent that from happening, and then you get a no-fail, foolproof recipe, then that's what I want to do. It might add one ingredient, but it will benefit you in the long run, okay? So this is glucose syrup. This is just available from the grocery store. Also known as light corn syrup if you're in the US. You only need like a teaspoon of it to a tablespoon with your caramel, and you'll see the benefits. All right, look at all you guys excited about. Stray looks so cool. I'm waiting for it. Looks fun. I've heard about it and I'm excited for Stray. Meow. Oh, I don't know, Reese, if you're talking about the caramel or the game, or both. I'm very excited for it. It seems unique, really unique. Okay. Also, NPCs will pet you. Interesting. Okay, it's not like that goat game, right? Like Goat Simulator. Thank you, Shaddy. I appreciate you doing that. What is the aim of this Stray game? You're just a cat trying to make it through the world. And you're just trying to find milk? Like, what is the purpose? No, not like Goat Simulator. Okay. So what we want to do is just take you guys down here. Bing. I made pancakes yesterday, okay? There's some crumbs. Now, I think it's a robot world and cats are left over from the post-human world, if that's right. Okay. And as the cat, do you have challenges? Do you have, like, you have to go and do different tasks? I'm so intrigued. I love pet care. Lost, alone, and separated from a family, a stray cat must untangle an ancient mystery to escape a long-forgotten... What? Oh my God. Help from a flying drone? I love it. Known only as B12. I love it. I love it. Sounds good. What is that? Okay, into here, we're gonna add some sugar. And you don't really need a measure, okay? Measure with your heart. You just need about a cup of sugar. You don't need a measure, but I'm gonna measure so I can create this recipe. I ran out of my notepad. I lent it to my stepdad when we were doing renovations. He left it outside and I got wet. So now I have no notepad. I have been seriously thinking about a Remarkable notepad. Has anyone got any type of reviews on that type of like electronic notepad? Has anyone ever used one? It's kind of like an iPad that is like a Kindle. So it's not color, it's all black and white, and you write on it and it kind of like converts that to text type thing. And it's got like a paper feel. I just think that it would be really good for recipe testing. So because I really like the feeling of writing down and like jotting notes, but I always lose so much paper. I lose everything, and it's never kind of consistent, you know what I mean? I use an iPad for uni and it works really well. I've only seen one of the Remarkables before. I haven't used one properly though. Okay, if you do, if you have know anyone, or if things pop up, think of me and let me know what you think. Like, you know, if it just, now that I've maybe piqued your interest or maybe talked about it, if you ever hear anything, guys, let me know. You know what happened now that we've started talking about it? Your devices will then start giving you ads. Okay, so we're gonna go with 112. So 122 grams is 120 grams is roughly a cup of sugar, okay? I searched standing desks. I was having one of those days where my butt was sore from sitting down and I was having a really grumpy day. And I was like, I'm gonna get a standing desk. Let me see how much they are. So I went to IKEA, searched standing desk, and now I'm getting ads for Omnidesk and all these different brands and companies of standing desks. And like, thank you, just what I need. If I remember correctly, Mead has a notebook that you can also take photos and it'll convert them. Interesting. Turn them into digital for significantly cheaper. My only advice is that don't use erasable pens in the heat. Okay. No worries, M-Potsa, no worries. Thank you for redeeming it. So 120 grams of sugar. And then we're gonna use about a teaspoon of glucose. So what I wanna do is I'm just going to spray this with a little bit of canola oil spray, like that. And basically it's gonna make this oily, so when I scoop, it's not gonna stick to the spoon, it's gonna come out easier. So, might be a bit hard to see. So the Mead one is a regular, okay. But then how is it, you just take a picture like with an app or something? Okay, so, say that's a tablespoon, right? And basically, oh, you can't see this coming off. Ready? And just like falls off the spoon. You couldn't make it to go faster, you can push it off, but it's coming off really clean. It just happens so slowly. So I'm impatient, so I pull it off like that. So what do we end up with? 25 grams. Cool. Yeah, it's an app, okay. But I like the idea, because I'm just not into the multiple steps. I could take a photo of now, I suppose, or scan my app stuff in, but I like the idea it can, like, natively converting my text and converting it all. You know what I mean? We're gonna add a little bit of water, so a tablespoon. $20 grams of water, which is 20 mils. One tablespoon, fabulous. We're gonna heat this like that, and that's it. Really, we're just gonna swirl that. We don't need to mix it. And then once it comes, what will happen is it will start to heat, start to bubble, and it won't start to change color until it has evaporated all of the water content. So to reach that high temperature, what will happen is it'll start to bubble, the water will evaporate, and then once that has all evaporated, then that's when it can increase temperature and reach those higher, higher temperatures. And then that's when the caramel color starts to develop at those higher temperatures. When you want it a nice kind of copper color, then adding in your cream. Some people like to go a little bit darker, but I find it a little bit too rich and kind of bordering burnt. So I like it to be like a medium caramel. You can go a lighter color if you want, you can go a darker color. Whatever you like, just know that when you add cream, it's gonna go lighter, just slightly. Easy. All right. So as this heats, you just swirl it like that, just gently, to make sure it all kind of mixes in. It's not stress. Okay. Now we're gonna do the risotto. So this risotto recipe is gonna be on the new website, and we'll need I wrote it up last night to then finalize the testing today. We're gonna need some spinach. So we're gonna need some mushroom and spinach. So I use portobello mushrooms, which are the brown ones. Like that. Do you guys like mushrooms? Mushroom soup, mushroom sauce. What do you think? As we are vegetarian at the moment for another few weeks, we're using vegetable stock. Love mushrooms, but no onions, right, Matala? Okay, uno momento while I just thought I printed this recipe off. Alrighty. Sorry guys. Obviously if I'm testing the recipe, I want to make sure that I've written it properly. Thank you everyone for coming in and following. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for being here, coming over in the raid, however you got here. It's lovely that you stick around and stay a while. Cheesecake has just gone off. All right. So I want to know how many of you like mushrooms? Mushrooms, mushrooms, mushrooms. Big ones, tall ones, some as big as your head. Long ones, enoki mushrooms, all the breakfast. Okay. Oh my god. Okie dokie. So, ingredients you're gonna need, sorry guys. So a liter of water, so 4 cups of water, tablespoon of olive oil, some stock powder, onion, 400 grams of brown mushrooms, half a teaspoon of thyme, 2 to 3 garlic cloves. More garlic, more better, maybe. Hey Pop Craig, welcome in. How's it going today? So, I'm gonna go with a few larger cloves of garlic. I've got 4 there. Salted butter, arborio rice or risotto rice, you might find it named as. Arborio is the variety, but it's the most well-known variety for risotto rice, but there are a few others if you wanna go fancy. Some white wine, parmesan, some cream or evaporated milk if you want to go a little bit healthier. Some lemon zest, lemon juice, spinach, parsley, salt and pepper. So all the ingredients you'll be able to find at your regular grocery store, and you should have a lot of them already in your house. Okay, so go here. So that is your caramel to be. You can see that it's starting to bubble. We just give it a swirl. Downside being now I'm hungry. Stay a while and listen. Yes, stick around. Hey April, welcome back. You love mushies, Antamina? I think they're cute. Nice, nice. Okay. Alrighty, so the recipe is easy, creamy mushroom and spinach risotto. You can definitely add chicken in here if you want, but this is a vegetarian version because obviously we're challenging ourselves to be a vegetarian. Like that. Oh. This one's my favorite. Matala, how hard are you working? All right, cheesecake is just gone off and we're doing two things at once. So berry cheesecake, it says cook on high for 4 minutes, which we did, and then allow to naturally release the pressure. So we're just gonna let that sit around until we can open it. And then once we let it cool, we'll put it in the fridge and we should be able to hopefully cut it by the end of the stream. Editing photos need a break, my eyes are funny. Yes, I know how that feels. Okie dokie. So we can go here so you can see this starting to change color ever so slightly, like that. So in here we've got a mixture of your white sugar, your glucose syrup, and a touch of water, okay? And at the end we'll add some salt and some cream. Do you want to do an infused caramel? I was thinking we could stir through a little bit of Vegemite. If you wanted to, we could do a few different varieties. We could do some rosemary, a little bit of Vegemite, a little bit of plain salted caramel. There's heaps of variations. We'll wait till we make it and then we can infuse it later. Hey Stace, good morning. How many days? Is it the end of this week, Stace? Yes. We're here for a little bit longer, a few more hours. Vegemite, don't you mean confused caramel? Vegemite caramel is delicious. It's that beautiful umami flavor. Make 4 different caramels and then do a 4 segment of the cheesecake. Could do. What's an owl? What? Don't do what my brother did. What are you making? It smells nice. Pokes finger. Okay, now I understand why you're saying ouch. Oh my God. Oh my God. What exactly is umami? So umami is that big mouth flavor. So it's like, you know when you eat something and it just like, it's really hard to explain. It's like that savory, big mouth feel, like really meaty or really flavorful. It's really hard for people. Some people describe it as that savory flavor, but it's usually from your mushrooms, you know, MSG enhances as well, but kombu, seaweed, miso, meat has really big umami flavors. When you age something, it increases the umami. Okay, I get it now, yeah. It's what you aim for when you cook a lot of savory like dishes, meat dishes specifically. It's that kind of, that really, I don't know how to explain it, like, but that big mouthfeel. It's just like, it's really hard to, well, you know it when you taste it, like when you taste ramen that's got like miso. Oh fuck! I got too busy talking about, I think this is, oh, it's way too burnt. Fuck. Yeah, the full rich flavor. Yep. That. Yep. Nah, it's like, I don't have the, oh my God, it's like burnt. I'm gonna take it outside. I'll be back. I'm going into the garage. Oh my God! Oh my God. See, I got distracted talking about umami. too passionately a talker and a teacher. It's all good. It's all good, baby. See? Folks, even if you're a professional streamer, stuff happens in the kitchen. That's it. Professional teacher, professional streamer, professional talker. That's why I like to normalize stuff just happening. My smoke alarm would be raging right now. There's one over there and there's one like in the hallway, so they're not really. Yeah, fail forward. That's it. Everyone makes mistakes. I'm just gonna go back to peeling my garlic and ignore it. No. Things happen. I thought I could hear it bubbling and I couldn't. The saucepan is too large that I couldn't see directly in the saucepan. I heard it bubbling. I was like, nice. Looked over and it's a bit darker than I expected. And I had it on too high. And it's water and sugar. Yeah, basically it's not too expensive. That's it. That's what I thought to myself. I was like, I could put the cream in now to see what the flavor would be like, but I don't want to waste the cream. So that's why it's just easy to throw it out. Okay. So back to the drawing board. Real quickly, if you want to learn how to make a caramel, 120 grams of sugar, 118. Okay. He did. Nothing to see here. Nothing. We're all good. 6 a.m. tomorrow? Is it tomorrow? For some reason I was thinking it's the 20th. Like the 20s, like 22 or something like that. The 19th, Stace. How heckin' crazy and cool is that? Knowing that going at 6 a.m. and more likely than not, you're gonna have a baby in your arms in the next in the next 24 hours. It was the 21st, they moved it to the 19th. Ah, okay. So now you just gotta pick out and then re-embroider everything that says baby's birthday, blanket. No longer the 21st, now you're gonna make it the 19th. You have a good memory. I try and remember little things about, I try to remember things and I like to remember things. It's not a lot of try, it's just that I have that memory that I remember details about people, but I also try and not freak anyone out by remembering things. Like stuff that, some people can feel as though it's nice and they feel like someone remembers something. Some people get creeped out about it, and there's that fine balance. The new baby smell, it's like a puppy breath smell, like fresh puppy breath. Is that, do you guys do that too? Like puppies have this very nice breath smell. It's like fresh. And then they get a bit older and then start to stink like garbage. But fresh puppies, they're really good. Babies as well, just have this nice, I don't know, similar new things like cars, books, babies and puppies. Yes. Okay, we're going in again. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your caramel to be. We're gonna add a little bit of water. And then it smells like garbage, yeah. God, I asked Romeo to not breathe in my face last week, and then he came up and sat upright against me and then breathed in my face. I tell you, it's like he speaks English. Sid and I always joke and say that he understands us, but like, no word of a lie. The dog was panting and I said, can you not breathe on me? And so he got up, sat right in front of me, facing me, and started breathing in my face. I was like, bitch, what are you gonna say to me? Okay. Yeah, and so it's like kids. You feed them solids and it's all over. I like puppies and babies, but I couldn't eat a whole one. My aunties, one of my aunties said over the weekend, she was like, Molly, somehow we were talking about kids. One of my aunties said on our family chat, like, what are you guys gonna do? Like, you gonna have kids, or have you thought about it? And then my other auntie chimed in, she was like, we're not allowed to talk about it. And I was like, it's not that we're not, my brother and sister-in-law are trying, but like for us, Exceed and I, we're so busy and we're so dedicated to building the community and the figuring out, you know, our dream of creating food content, that we haven't got time for anything, and we aren't ready for kids. And if it happens, it happens. This one takes up more of our time than anything, and we might not have kids. And so it's not that we're not talking about it and that it's all hush hush or whatever. I don't feel as though we can't have a fulfilled life without kids. And there's sometimes where I look at kids and I'm like, oh my God, you know, you hear a lot of the parents complaining, and not complaining, but stating that, you know, they're tired and school sports and stuff like that. And I know that there's so much joy in kids. Matala, I'll take the older ones. Okay, so into here we've added garlic. This is a habit I'm trying to get out of. Cooking the garlic first, which is, it's not really the best thing you should do. You should do onions first. Cook onions and then add the garlic, because you risk really overcooking and burning the garlic because it's so sensitive. It does smell nice though, it does. But I'm trying to get out of the habit of cooking the garlic first and then cooking the garlic and onions together. I want to cook the onions and then add the garlic after. My hubby and I were together for 13 years before we had our daughter. There's no rush. Yeah. Nothing like your own, like having your own pets. Yeah. That's what my parents say. But also my mum did say, she was like, she said, you know, well, I think she gets a bit sad, and sometimes because a lot of her friends already have grandkids and whatnot, and like she has none. But we had a conversation, you know, we went out for lunch one day, and she was saying that she acknowledges that times are different than, you know, when her and my dad were together and her generation. You know, that's the thing that you did. You got together, you got married, you had a house, and then you had kids and whatever. And she said now there's so much choice and opportunities and whatever. So I don't know. We're not fussed. I have you guys. You're enough to handle. But yeah, we have really big dreams and ideas of projects that we want to do in the next few years, especially. We want to really focus on looking after this caramel is the biggest priority at the moment. And then I really want to build our website. Romeo. We really want to build our website, be able to do education in there, create, you know, events. You have 92 kids watching right now. Yes. Okay. Go there. Zoom you in a little bit. And then also go here so I can look at that. Has that got the pantry? Yes, look at that. All right, get yourself your swirl on. Get your swirl on. Oh, get your swirl on. Ooh, get your swirl on. And we're gonna add another to our brood through Stace and Iffy. All right, like that. Rotate. Love it. Onion. We have a cool mum. What do they say? You can call me whatever you want, but don't call me late for dinner. Isn't that the weird joke that old people say? You get someone's name wrong and you say, you can call me whatever you want, just don't call me late for dinner. Yeah, soon, one day, our dream, our hope is to be able to cook for you in person. How cool would that be? All right, give it a little swirl. It's changing color, you can see. Keep an eye on it, chat. Say, Molly, it's going brown. Okay, turning this stove on 2, on medium low. You're both welcome here. I'll come over and feed you some postnatal foods. All right. The amount of times I've heard that from my stepdad growing up, he picks different things. You can call him, oh, I love that. Only Defka, welcome in. Okay, swirl your caramel. Okay, onion and garlic, it says. In a large saucepan, pour, nope, that's, yeah. We're gonna prepare our stock. Prepare our stock first. So in here, we want 4 cups. Fill this whole thing up with water. So 1,000 milliliters of water. We're gonna create some vegetable stock. Yo, yo, yo! Hold on 2 seconds. Hello! Da-dun! How do I say your name? Welcome in! Hey Raiders! How was your stream? What'd you get up to today? We are making risotto and caramel and cheesecake. How was your stream? What did you get up to today? Welcome in, guys. My name is Molly. It's lovely to have you here. Hello. So, DH Dunn. Do I call you Dunn? Do I call you Da-Dun? Da-dun. The Long Dark. Ooh, some thriller fiends. We're playing. Hey, DH Dunn. All right. How was your stream? Did you enjoy it? Do you like food? Do you like cheesecake? Thank you for being here. A little bit about us, who we are and what we do is this. Welcome back. So we're a cooking stream. We make some simply delicious food and occasionally we recreate different food items from games, TV shows and movies, different cuisines. We like to have fun in the kitchen. And so we like to say, pull up a chair, come and sit with friends, have some fun. Here we've got, this is onion, it's a bit bright. So this is onion and garlic. We're just sauteing until translucent. Here we're making some caramel and give it a little swirl. We're just deepening that in color. It's a touch browner, darker for me, but you can't really see. And then we're gonna add in some cream for that. The cheesecake has been cooked in the pressure cooker. We're just waiting for that to depressurize, which it's almost time. Okay. Welcome in. Abby, it's lovely to have you here. Kelly Lynn, welcome in. Plodicus, welcome back. Is it brown? It's slightly brown, but we want it like a copper color, a nice deeper color. Only Defka, I'm doing really well. Thank you for being here. No worries, it's lovely to have you here. How have you been? How's your streams going? I'm a Brit. Since our food heritage is so similar, which specific Aussie dishes would you recommend to surprise challenge a British palate? It is very similar. Everyone asks all the time, what is an Australian food? And we're like, something that is mainly British. I don't know. What do you like? Are you a fan of It's uniquely Australian. I can't even. Obviously, you've got like lamingtons. If you want sweet, do you want? Am I going sweet or savoury? Give me a ballpark to work in. Are you ready, guys? Look at this. Ready? No hands. Doop, doop, doop. Nice color. You could go a little bit darker if you want. I think I might want a bit of a paler camera. I'm just looking at. I don't know why I said camera. I was looking at the camera and I said it at the same time. I love that emote already because it's a Thanos smile. That is my husband. So my husband and I co-create the channel together. So you see me in the kitchen. On the next stream on Wednesday, you'll see him as well. We cumulative effort of both of us, and that is him when I accident. No, that's okay. I can understand it. I dyed his hair, and it actually turned out dyeing his whole body. There's a clip. Okay, turn this off the heat. We're gonna whack in the cream like that. And be careful, that's why I'm swirling it instead of stirring it. It's gonna bubble up. I turn the heat off. You're loving that crack. Yes. You're in the US. Sorry, left USA yesterday. I'm doing a fitness camp for 3 weeks. Hell yeah. Oh my goodness. Whereabouts was the camp? That's amazing. Look at that. So, it's a nice colored caramel. Like I said, you could go darker if you wanted to, but I wanted it a bit lighter. And I was erring on the side of caution as well, rather than overheating it and burning it. So, it's kind of like what you're looking for. Take that off the heat. Go here. So you want to let it cool before you taste it, obviously. Put a little bit of salt in there. Doesn't that look yummy? And as it starts to cool, it will thicken. So you can always, I added about 1/3 of a cup of cream. And then what I like to do is just cool it down and see what consistency it gets to. And then I'll add more depending on what I like. It was in PA, in the Pocono Mountains, Pennsylvania. So you went from Pennsylvania and did the camp and then in France? That's awesome. Wait, PA? In the US? So you went, hold on. So you went, you're originally from the UK, right? The only deaf guy? You're from the UK, you went to the US and now you're in France. All right, so I put a little bit here. I'm just waiting for that to cool. We can have a taste. Put it on the bench because it's cold. It's clean. I'm gonna zoom in my finger. So, kind of the consistency that we want, maybe even a little bit thinner, because when that's paired with a cold caramel cheesecake, it's gonna go firmer and it might be a little bit too thick, and it might be like, it might just clump together. So you might want it a little bit runnier. Yum, gooey, yeah. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt to it. Fabulous. Now, cheesecake. So I'm an English vegetarian traveling to Australia. Any unique, thanks, that's great. Dulled. Okay, so English vegetarian. So there's obviously, you go to a lot of bakeries, you're gonna have the choice of like spinach and ricotta, pasty, or like some pasties, sometimes vegetarian, or spinach and ricotta sausage rolls can be really good. or quiches, as long as you eat eggs. What else, guys? What can we think of for adult vegetarian foods coming to Australia? There's heaps of different new restaurants coming up. I don't know if you eat seafood as a vegetarian. Are you including seafood in that? I'm not pescatarian. Then there's heaps of kind of plant-based places that are popping up. Are you going East Coast, West Coast, Australia, everywhere? Where are you kind of location-wise? Where are you traveling to? Be amazing for you. Also, what time of the year? Kidoki. So, pull these tabs really gently, pull it up, pop it onto your bench, pull that away. Nice. Okay, so the sling idea was fabulous. And so I'm just thinking of pies, like a uniquely Australian food. Pies are one of them. Vegetarian narrows it down, it makes it a little bit harder. Hayees, then you're looking for like, look at this. There's heaps of Mexican places around, and you have like Mexican dishes. Australia doesn't really have, it's a melting pot of all different cultures. There's not really a uniquely Australian foods, or, you know. Kangaroo, if you've ever eaten a kangaroo before. All right, this is our cheesecake, guys. Pressure cooker cheesecake. You can see the crumbs from the base that were in the food processor. But see, it's got a little bit of jiggle. That's what you want. We're gonna transfer this into the fridge. Thanks for taking the time to address my silly question. No, it's not silly at all. No way. West, so you're coming to Perth? Are you coming to Perth? Because that would make it easier. I can tell you stuff in Perth if you want to write some stuff down. No seafood, but dairy and cheese. Okay, cool. I'm gonna pop this on a plate. It's really hot, and then put it in the fridge. This is, it's kind of like a New York style cheesecake, and we're gonna put a caramel topping on top. Yeah, okay. So, what kind of cuisine do you like? Do you like Japanese? Japanese is a bit hard because if you don't eat seafood. There's a raw vegan place. Fremantle is where you want to go. A lot of vegetarian, vegan. It's like a kind of hipster place. A lot of seafood as well. I'm trying to find a dishcloth. Yeah, very much so. If anyone has ever heard of Sydney, or no, not Sydney, Fremantle, everyone knows Sydney, but if you're coming to Perth, you have to go to Fremantle. There's a lot of really nice restaurants and cafes down there, beautiful views. And there's a place called The Raw Kitchen. I don't know if I'm pretty sure it's still open. I haven't been there in years, but they do amazing raw vegan food. Their pad thai is amazing. All right, we're getting stuck into our risotto. So this is, you want about 400 grams of mushrooms, which is this. And these are portobello mushrooms. You don't want to wash mushrooms. You just want to brush the dirt off. You can give them a little rinse if you want, but they're like sponges. They're gonna absorb all the moisture. So just be wary of that. We're just gonna make sure we got everything. So onion and garlic are already in the pan. We're gonna get some thyme, salted butter, which is fine, rice, parmesan. So rice, parmesan, and wine. Vegetarian life's going good. I couldn't do it forever. I'm missing chicken, which I knew that I would. Yeah, there's times where I really struggle. Not really struggle. It's just trying to be healthier as well, like, and thinking about what I'm cooking. Like, I used to just pick up chicken breast and make pasta, and it was just a little bit less healthy. So now I'm being more conscious of, like, because you can't have meat, what's it going to be? And it is a nice challenge, which I am kind of enjoying. But then there's times where I just, right now with me creating the new website, I'm going through a lot of preparing for recipe testing. I can't do a lot of testing because a lot of the dishes have meat in it. So I can't test them, and I want to eat them because I'm writing a recipe and preparing it, like converting it onto a new website, and it's like fried chicken burgers or you know, like a chicken pie or something like that, and I'm like, oh, I just want to eat it because I can't. So it's gone all right, but I couldn't do it forever. There's small changes that I want to make, and there's heaps of dishes that I'm like finding that I really want to keep making, but I couldn't do it forever. Some people peel the skin off. I do that. I used to do that all the time, like Reg. I used to peel off the skin all of the time, but there's a lot of nutrients in the skin. I only do it if it's like really dirty, but I used to do it all the time. Biggest thing now what I do is, do you peel off the skin? Yeah, each to their own. So all I do is just use my thumb and I just grip it and I just pull out the inside like that. And then it makes it easier to then chop. I peel the whole mushroom off and into the bin. Ha 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 ha. Cad, how you bloody doing today? How was your evening? Where you been? What you been up to, huh? Mushrooms. Keep the skin, yeah. So to make it easier, I just take out the stem, but you cut and keep the stem, promise me. Put baby llama to bed. Yeah, and before that. I'm gonna interrogate you, Gad. How do you feel? So between, oh, it was a non-work day too. Who you been hanging out with? Where you been? Kidding. I can only say things like that to the mods because they interrogate me. All right, so slice them. I just chop them like layer at least like one on top of each other, and then you just want to slice like this. You can roughly chop them, dice them, whatever you prefer. I like to do strips, and then I like to grab them like this, grab, rotate like that, and then like in thirds like that. Beware. Okay, bedtime. Enjoy the rest of your shrimp. Thank you for being here. Have a fabulous sleep and stay cool. Hope that the air conditioner situation's now fixed and you can regulate your temperature. You guys peel the skin off as well? Yeah, so it's not uncommon. It's not uncommon. You can peel or not to peel. It's fine, why me? As long as you use it's button mushrooms, the white mushrooms are cheaper. But I just find the brown ones have a little bit more flavor. They're a little bit more expensive depending on, but the brown ones are gonna give you that browner texture, browner color as well when they cook. Like the field mushrooms, the ones with more of this internal kind of fur, I don't know. The underside is browner. It's gonna give you a richer flavor. Can I say peeling a mushy is the equivalent of, is me wrong? Okay. can honestly say peeling a mushy is the equivalent of, is it me that is wrong or the children? Yeah. I'm always right, everyone else is wrong. I've never had a chestnut mushroom. I've tried, done the enoki mushrooms and some, at one stage, if you guys were around, it was like this time last year, we grew our own mushrooms. Do you remember? And Exceed said they looked gross. I would like to buy another kit, like another mushroom kit. I don't know where you get them from, because that original one was from the farmer's market. Do you remember? I loved it. And now we have more room in this house that I could probably put it somewhere, like in the spare bathroom or something. But I loved the mushroom kit. Created some really fun dishes. So, Vibes Pro, since you just said that, I created something really cool yesterday. I was looking at, and this is going back to what Yeezy said, asking me how vegetarianism was going. For all of July, I'm giving up meat to push myself to be more creative with food. So I was typing up a crispy chicken burger yesterday, the recipe, and I thought, damn, what about using mushrooms, the same recipe but creating it with mushrooms? So I came into the kitchen and I put some, breaded a mushroom or 2 mushrooms and then breaded it and deep fried it. It was so good. And then I made this really nice cream, avocado, parsley, garlic, bit of sour cream, this dipping sauce, and it was really tasty. So I think we're onto something. I think I'm gonna try and make like a mushroom burger or whatnot. Okay. It's easy to grow a certain herb and the benefits are better. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 cups, 4 teaspoons. Whatever you want to do, depending how strong you like it. I am an avid stock powder user. Good quality stock powder. Oh, shiza! I forgot. I made bread this morning. The dough is proofed. We need to shape it and bake it. Got to mention it. We need to proof and bake it. Oh, Molly. It was just lucky I saw it. It had stuff on top of the... Anyway. What kind of bread? It's a use from the First Things First cookbook or ebook on our website. It's the Easy Crusty Loaf, but I put garlic and rosemary in it. Okay. So, got garlic and onion. Our stock, we're bringing that to the boil, just under the boil, and letting that simmer while we make our risotto. So I want to show you how simple risotto can be, all right? So we've got the mushrooms here, arborio rice. So we want to have, 1.5 cups, which is bowl, scales. So I'm just testing this recipe to make sure it's all good for you guys, and it will be on the new website. So eventually the plan is as I create recipes, I then test them on the stream. From then we'll move into the photography area that I'm setting up, and then we'll shoot it. So you guys can watch me really close up and do drizzle shots and whatnot, and create the content for the website. Okie dokie. That rice, mushrooms, 400 grams of mushrooms. I've got our a tablespoon of olive oil with 4 garlic cloves and 1 onion. Stock is there. We need salted butter, parmesan, lemon zest and juice, just here. Your curried risotto was one of the best I've ever had. I love that. I love hearing that. Thank you. This one's gonna be really good as well. So this one is a mushroom and spinach risotto. The one on the website is a kind of the Kwama Scrib risotto. So it's a recipe I created with Elder Scrolls Online, based on one of their items in their game. Basically, it's like a Thai red curry risotto. It's very tasty. Now we need some thyme. I've got some thyme here. Usually I would use fresh, but I cannot be bothered going outside because it's raining. So we're just gonna, it is dry. Okay. I put the cheesecake in the fridge, cool. Which ingredients are the hardest to obtain in Australia? I think, do you mean like, are we running out of flour or are we running out of butter or whatever? I haven't really found too many issues finding ingredients, especially in our state. Stuff has got more expensive, like broccoli, herbs and rhubarb at the moment is expensive. It's like, I don't know if it was always that price. Has rhubarb always been $7 for a bunch? I can't say that I buy rhubarb at the moment, or that very often, but at the moment I've been wanting to really make a lot of recipes with it. And I'm like, I can't, I don't really want to pay $7 for a bunch. So yeah, there's that. Okay, so add thyme, mushrooms, garlic, and butter. I just want to make sure I've got everything out, so then it's really quick because I want to show you how simple it is to make this recipe. Wine. My neighbors can't give it away? Really? Send some to me. Now, so garlic, onion, thyme, Parmigiano Reggiano. Parmigiano Reggiano, 16 months old. Okay, now, you ready? What we're gonna do is all of our stuff in here. We're gonna add in our mushrooms, like that. It's a lot of mushies. And we're gonna soften these down. Remember, they're gonna get smaller. Probably should have used a bigger sauce from Molly. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. I'm just gonna grab some water and we'll add just a quarter of a cup of water just to help them cook and start to steam. So once they start to soften, then we'll add our rice. Yeah, I'm gonna for sure need to change saucepans, for sure. No, 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 no. I'm gonna change to a cast iron. No. Let's go. Yeah, you can use either, but this will look prettier. My big non-stick one is actually in the fridge because it's got the pasta we made from Friday. Okay. Okay, so start with a larger saucepan or cast iron, like that. I've seen butter chicken with water, cream, etc. I think I'll try cream next. Edible regardless, but the sauce was grainy. I want to buy, hold on, let me read that again. I want to buy you a fun spice and see what you try to cook with it. I learned about long pepper. Yes, I would love to. I think it tasted a bit flat. I think my turmeric is old, but for some reason the recipe didn't call for cardamom. Edible regardless, but the sauce was grainy. I have experimented to do. I've seen butter chicken with water, cream, etc. I think I'll try cream. Butter chicken with cream is nice, or some Greek yogurt. Do you make up the recipes from scratch or take recipes and add your own twist to them? A little bit of both. So sometimes like more savory stuff, I like to, you know, we'll just see pictures of inspiration or whatever and then try and make some stuff up from an idea that I have. Some recipes like with baking, I'll try and base it off mine or look for inspiration from, you know, other websites or recipes around, old cookbooks, things like that, and then try and then tweak it and change it, add different toppings or whatever myself. But the more of the science is a lot of trial and error or tweaking just to make sure your ratios are correct. It's a lot of fun. It can be really hard and frustrating, and I try and be hesitant of not wasting ingredients, but I'd rather do the testing so that you guys have a good recipe and it come out, you know, pretty foolproof. Or I write what I'm doing now, because I've never had the opportunity to do that before, is create a blog where it gives you tips and tricks and what you need to do, recipe suggestions, ideas and things like that as well. I live in the rhubarb triangle. There's a rhubarb triangle? My goodness. Okay, so we're just sauteing this. I see how the water that I added, I don't think I'm gonna put that in the recipe because you don't really need to, and it adds too much liquid. But that is garlic, onion, thyme, mushrooms, right? If you find any big pieces of mushrooms that you don't want, you can just break them with your spatula. I always use a silicone spatula for everything. I don't really like wooden spoons. These are flexible and you can go around the edges. Okay. Now, we're gonna add the butter. So, this is one of my important things to pass on to you. This is an Italian dish and you need butter. Butter is gonna give it silkiness, it's gonna give it flavor. Don't be stingy with the butter. Is it like the Bermuda Triangle? Caddy, all back into the rhythm now after your holiday. Back to normality. Right. I ran out of butter, so I need to add more butter. So see how much liquid this has got, because the mushrooms are sweated down. So I really didn't need to add that extra water. So I want to make sure that that's all absorbed before I go into the next step, which is toasting the rice. Hey Sabrina, welcome in. Have you had a good weekend, Sabrina? Okie dokie. In there. And you're looking for 2 tablespoons of butter, okay? So once this is absorbed, we've got our warm stock here. We're gonna add in where necessary. Look at that. Back from vacation, then had to go to the airport for a work trip 3 days later. Back from that yesterday morning. Nice. So you had a good weekend of hopefully time to actually, you know, rest and unwind. All right. I was questioning the mushroom situation. I was like, that maybe I need to reduce from the mushrooms from 400 grams to less. But look how much it's turned into. You always stress and think, oh my God, too much mushrooms, too much spinach or whatever. But then by the time it starts to cook down, you got like minimal left. Look at that. And by doing this, you're getting that beautiful brown color to come out, and saute them down. Adds depth of flavor and beautiful color. Mushrooms is like spinach, where you start with like heaps of spinach and then it touches heat and it's mushrooms is the same. You cook them down, reduces so much extra umami flavor. Yeah. I could just eat them like that. These garlicky mushrooms on top of toast with some cheese. All right, so while that's happening, I can grate my Parmesan. I thought that was another. Whoa, I fell over on my shoe. I twisted my ankle. Would have been embarrassing. Okay, we're looking for about a quarter to half a cup of Parmesan. I like to finely grate it, but sometimes it takes too long, so I do a little bit of both. Buy yourself a food processor or like a electric grater. Do they exist? Electric graters? That'd just be a food process, wouldn't it? Nice. This should have a Ziploc bag that it's kept in. At my cafe, we have a cook that makes our pastries in the industrial kitchen. We cooked some mushrooms with the garlic gherkin, and they gave me a small bowl. Nearly cried because it was good. Yum. Oh, mushroom overboard. Okay. Now, it says add the rice and toast for 2 to 3 minutes. Okay. Pop that in. And so what you're doing is you really ensure to set yourself up for success. Don't wash your white rice. No washing rice with the risotto, because you want that starch. You want it to be sticky. The starch is going to be released. As the granules rub against each other, they're going to release the starch, which creates a really creamy texture. Also, warm stock is one of the biggest things, because we're going to ladle in the stock, and it needs to be roughly the same temperature so that it continues to cook. It doesn't have to reduce, like if you're adding cold stock to a hot pan, it's going to reduce the temperature of the pan. If you keep them both at the same temperature, then it'll be absorbed quicker and the cooking process will happen quicker. Adding butter give it a creamy texture as well. Toasting it helps give some nutty flavor. Okay? And stirring. You don't have to consistently, like all the time, give yourself an arm ache, but you just want to make sure it's not sticking to the bottom, and you're agitating the granules of rice to bump up against each other to release their starch. Okay? Like that. I'm going to grab a ladle. I always struggle with where I put it all the time. If I was a ladle, I'd ladle in the morning. There we go. Okay. How do I personally feel? I haven't watched Neighbours in years. It's sad. It is definitely sad, but I haven't watched it in years. So I don't, it's not like I don't care, but it's sad for the actors and stuff that have lost their job, and it's been really great for growing kind of the acting scene in Australia. A lot of those people that get their big break, then they go on to bigger things. Look at Chris Hemsworth, Margot Robbie, you know, Kylie Minogue, heaps of stuff. So it's a bit sad, definitely, for sure. All right, lowering your temperature down. Is risotto something that can be reheated? No, you can definitely reheat it. You just want to put some extra liquid in there when you reheat it. Okay, so the first one is going to lift off the fond. So I've turned down the heat quite a lot. And so you don't want it much to evaporate as much as be absorbed by the rice, right? Because what will happen, Liz, as it cools and you put it in your fridge, it'll absorb the liquid. So you can reheat it by putting a little bit more milk or water or stock or something in there and bring it back to life. But yeah, it's fantastic a few days later. All right, so stirring, and then we're gonna add another ladle at a time. Waiting until it's all absorbed, making sure that it's all absorbed like that, and then adding more, okay? You wanna make sure it's like slippery, like this, it moves around, it's not like complete. This is when it says absorbed, like no excess moisture. Like when you pull apart, it's not dry, and it's not sticking to the bottom, but it's not slippery and wet. Okay. Yes, you want to use a higher starch rice. So an arborio rice is perfect, and it's more commonly available. There are other rices for risotto, but arborio is the most important. Is the most well known, and they are important because what gives risotto that creamy texture is the high starch content of the rice. So it won't be the same. You'll just have mushrooms and rice if you're using jasmine or basmati or whatever. It's just not the same silkiness with a long grain rice. Does that make sense? Okay. Molly, do you have any recipes lined up with pesto? All my veg friends love it. No, but suggestions like that, I can definitely make some. Yeah, that's what I want to hear, guys. I'm like, Molly, I need this type of recipe or whatever. It gives me some good ideas to work towards. And Exceed and I were discussing, you know, with these like food trends that come up like on TikTok and whatever, I have no idea. So we thought about doing something like a TikTok, you know, what was I thought of it? Like a food trend Friday. And then if you guys send in videos of like things that you see, then I can there and then, like that day or with a day's notice, I get the ingredients and we can make a recipe for the tomato feta pasta is in our new cookbook. Is in All Things Food. We did a pressure cooker, slow cooker version. I love pesto risotto with goat's cheese. Oh, that sounds good. So I'm just lazily, very lazy, just stirring this. You don't have to be like, oh my God, mix and mix and mix. It's not like that. It's like every 10 to 20 seconds, just giving it a stir. I bought vegan pesto today. Kale pesto. Nice. That sounds good. I can make kale, cashew, and basil. Yum. I can definitely do like some dips as well. There's very popular like kale, basil. I think it's basil and cashew like dips that are available in Australia that my mum really, really loves. And those are really good. You can just throw them, you can have them as a dip or you can throw them through pasta. Really versatile. Spinach and artichoke dip, All Things Food as well. There is a slow cooker, pressure cooker version of spinach and artichoke dip, which is banging. I have to say, it is one of my favorites. I said to Exceed with the new website, I was like, I just want to recreate all of, like, so many of the website recipes and put them on the website. The cookbook recipes and put them on the website. He's like, you can't do that. I was like, I know. Like, the people need, what was the recipe that I said? Was it the beans? No, I don't remember. One of them, I was like, I just want to remake it for the website. Cashew cream is, what do you use with cashew cream? loves it. Oh, nice. And to me, that sounds fantastic. Fabulous. Okay, so giving it a stir. You don't want it to boil. Like this is probably a little bit too hot. You want it just to kind of simmer. But this is the best. I really like this element because it's closer to the camera and you guys can see it. But you just want to let it simmer and it will slowly evaporate. If you are cooking it on a higher heat, you just need more liquid because a lot of it's going to evaporate, right? Because it's bubbling too much, creates more steam. It's going to evaporate quicker. Just use more water or stock. Artichoke is good. Dip sauces and soups, yum. I've had cashew cream once, I think, when we were in New Zealand. They served it on top of pizza. It was amazing. It was so, so good. It was just like a normal, I don't think it was a vegan pizza. Maybe it was a vegetarian pizza. I don't remember because I like very plain pizzas. But it just had this cashew cream on top and it was incredible. If you're ever in Queenstown, I think it was called Hell's Pizza. I don't remember. But it was amazing. Okay, can you see how there's no cream, there's no cheese in there just yet, but it's starting to go creamier. Like that. If it calls for heavy cream, you can substitute with cashew cream. Nice. And does the cashew cream like break down? Does it go like the consistency when you mix it through something? Does it go lumpy or like kind of like that curdled, you know, where you put like Greek yogurt in sometimes? It kind of looks like lumpy, bumpy compared to cream where it's like more of an emulsification. All right, another ladle. So am I intriguing you guys to make risotto? It's so easy. A little bit more. 4 ladles worth. Rachel Roddy, easy summer pasta. I don't know how to pronounce that. And rocket basil and pea pesto. Ooh. It's not on the menu because there was a lot of stuff, but on Wednesday, next Wednesday, this Wednesday coming, we're making a soup that, y'all know, who's the YouTuber that wears the red shirt? It's his kind of like his thing. Y'all know, he's got like blonde hair and he wears a red shirt. Nope. Not this time, Cad. I'm usually talking about Picard, but not this time. Something Scott, Tom Scott, is that it? Does he wear a red shirt? Well, he did he collaborated with these other YouTubers and they do this cooking competition style stuff on YouTube. So we were watching an episode. I don't really watch him, but he put it on. They did this, really sums it down. The red shirt guy. Yeah. Hey Tito, welcome back. And they made this pea soup with gremolata. And I was like, I've made a gremolata in ages and I don't think I've made a pea soup from, you know, a plain pea soup before. And they said it was amazing, so we're gonna make it on Wednesday. I'll make my own little version because I couldn't find their recipe anywhere. Hey, that looks amazing. Thank you. You can make this for yourself, super easy. We're actually testing a recipe for our new website and showing you how easy risotto could be. Strawberry soup? What the? Tell me about strawberry soup. Is it just like a strawberry smoothie? How good this is. I'm liking this pan more and more, to be honest. Oh yeah, Tom B do wearing those red shirts all the time though. I told ya, that's his style. It's his shtick. Red shirt man. Promise. Okay, the title used to say cheesecake from All In Together. Is the pressure cooker cheesecake recipe not from... Yeah? It's a pressure cooker cheesecake from All In Together. Did Ixie change it? It is the All In Together pressure cooker cheesecake. What does it say now? Exclamation mark title. Strawberry soup is a cold soup from strawberries, yogurt. So it's just a smoothie then. Maybe pressure cooker cheesecake sounds more clickbaity. Maybe you changed it. It's like, oh my God, a cheesecake in the pressure cooker? That's what my mum said. She was like, what? My family were really freaked out that you could make cake in a slow cooker. All right, so it's still slippery, it's moving, but there's not a lot of liquid, see? And that shows you when you can go like that and there's no like liquid, like it's not oozing out, then that means you're ready for the next ladle. And you are ready for the next ladle. There we go. So like that's liquid. So see if I do that, see how there's a lot of liquid? That means you're not on to the next ladle. My sister's boyfriend was going on about a blueberry soup. Is it just water? It's stock. I'm using mushroom stock, or you could use chicken stock, beef stock, depending on what flavors you got in your dish or what you want to add. It's just warm stock. We want to refrain from calling it shit. We want to say stock or something else rather than an S word. Something. Do you know what I mean? Okay. Look how good this looks. It's coming together. No buckers. It's even thicker than a smoothie? Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I'm interested to try it, for sure. All right, I'm gonna turn this down even, if not off, just for 2 seconds while we get this bread in the oven, okay? So, bread recipe that I keep forgetting to deal with, bread dough. You wanna kind of deflate it as little as possible, but that. So first things first, easy crusty bread. Just added some dried rosemary and some garlic powder or fresh garlic, whatever you want to use. Okay, and just shaping it. This. So you want to pull everything up and into. Look at that yeast flatulence, right? This. So you want to push down and towards yourself to like, you're basically kind of stretching it on the outside, all right? Lovely. Let that sit for a minute or two. Give me a little stir of my mushies here. I'll cry if you touch my mushrooms. Now, ideally you want to put this in a banneton and let it sit for like at least 10 minutes. Let's just do that. We'll be good little people. We'll let it sit for 10 minutes and that's it. This is a bread banneton. So basically it's is this bamboo? I don't know what kind of wood this is. Dust it with some rice flour. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to sit it so it's seam side down. So when you flip it up, it's seam side up. Okay? Sits in like that. And dust it with some more. Pull the sides away and put some more rice flour there. Fabulous. Cover it, sit it for 10 minutes. Okay, go back here. Banneton is my favorite 70s rock group. Yes. Okay. Is that flour in a pepper shaker? It is flour in a rice flour in a, you would call this like a hot chocolate or a cocoa shaker? Oh my God, I realized I just forgot the wine. We're gonna add a little bit of wine. Half a cup of wine. Pretend I added that before, okay? It's just more stock, more liquid. There's no problem if you don't add it till the end. You just wanna make sure that you cook all the alcohol off. So it has to have enough time so it's bubbling and boiling, right? And some for me, I don't really like, especially like dry wine like this. This is the SSB. It isn't actually too bad. Oh, that's actually not too bad. It's a bit sweeter. It's a cheaper bottle of wine. When people say, like, don't cook with wine that you wouldn't drink yourself, I understand that. But sometimes some cheaper wine has more robust flavor and it tends itself better to cooking. I'm not gonna add a $20 bottle of wine into my food and then like leave it open to then like, I buy a cheaper $5 to $10 bottle of wine and I keep that in the fridge open, like, or in the pantry open, like but just sealed for like a few weeks. Like, and I know that isn't ideal, but I'm not gonna like buy a bottle of wine and then finish. If it was like for a special occasion and I was putting some in the food and then drinking it, then 100%. But like, I'm not going to buy an expensive bottle of wine to then sit in the cupboard, like, and it'd be open, and that, I feel like that's ruining it. It's for the flavor. Yeah. So all those people, of course, you know, making that decision is coming from a place of privilege where you're like, yes, use the fanciest wine. Like, I'm from a reality. This is so good. It's so creamy as well, and there's nothing in it yet. Like, look how good that is. So silky. All right, you want to taste some of your rice granules? Wine month You have to make every recipe with one, and the goal is to get through the bottle. Yeah. How many of you guys cook with one, like consistently? I have a bottle of red wine and a bottle of white wine going most times. Oh yeah, make sure you taste it first in case the wine is corked. Always taste the wine first. I never drank alcohol. Okay. But even if you don't drink wine, definitely like have some wine, like some apple juice or some grape juice around, and that's good as well. Adding some sweetness, but you don't need it. Just add extra stock. Dex, 100%. Keith Floyd was no. If it wasn't 40 degrees Celsius tomorrow, I'd be making this. Well, will be on the website by the time the weather starts to cool down for you in the next few months. So I'm hoping, Exceed said to me last night, okay, what's your go live date? And I was like, really? He was like, come on, you got to challenge yourself. Like, we need to have a date. But I was thinking end of August, but then we've got a lot on the end of August. There's like some stuff we're getting ready for. So I'm gonna say mid-September. Mid-September. So the current website will stay up then. Yeah, okay. So the current website will stay up. There'll be some downtime of like maybe 2 to 3 weeks, maybe. But we'll let you know. I don't know how long. We'll try and do as much as possible. It's just like the SEO stuff and the few changes we need to make with the website down. That was from the cook along on Friday. All right, so there we go. We're gonna add in, so next step is add the stock, 1 ladle at a time. Okay, should be very creamy. So through the lemon juice, zest, cream, cheese. Okay, cheese, like that. Lemon juice. Jay, you beautiful human. Oh, cognac's good as well. Cognac or brandy. Oh my God, squeeze your lemons. This is gonna add, and you wanna do this at the end when the heat is off, adding in all of this stuff at the end, because it just really keeps the freshness and it stops it kind of like completely from cooking. Lemon juice, and we're gonna add some zest at the end. My brother my brother Belgor used to give me so much hate for adding zest and juice, lemon zest and lemon juice to risottos. But it really, the acid, if you don't wanna add lemon juice, you can add some like little bit of white wine vinegar. It just really adds some brightness to the rest of the dish and lightens it up. I promise it's really good. I'm actually using an Australian company that does non-alcoholic spirits. Ooh, yeah, okay. So Four Pillars, which is one of my favorite gin companies, they've just released a new non-alcoholic spirit. There are a few of them actually, like non-alcoholic gin. They said it's harder to make a non-alcoholic gin than a regular gin. It doesn't, the process is intriguing to me because I'm not really sure how it works. Isn't it just water? Okay. So cheese, if you want, you can add some, what do you call it? Cream or some evaporated milk, like that. It's like 1 or 2 tablespoons. Damn! Lavender gin, oh, sounds good. I like elderflower. And so if you want to add more liquid to it, more stock if you want it thinner. Oh my God. The other thing in here, blue cheese works so well. You would not even know that that doesn't have meat in it. It's so delicious. Yum. And we're gonna, obviously it's a mushroom and spinach. Risotto, so we're gonna add some spinach. I have a rice cooker that I use weekly. I wanna get a pressure cooker to try a couple new things and ways to cook, but I'm worried it would end up mostly used as a rice cooker. Would you recommend? I love it. So Chimp, the new ones have a pressure cooker, slow cooker, rice cooker all in one, and they're amazing. There's a lot more you can do out there than rice. I don't, you know, if you feel like it, if you're wanting to, you can purchase the ebook or the cookbook, and they'll give you heaps of ideas of what to make in it, so you're not just making rice. Rice is one of the best ways, you know, to cook rice in the pressure cooker. It's amazing. But you can make soups, you can make stews, you can make cakes, heaps of stuff is available to make in the pressure cooker. Everything you would do in a slow cooker, you can do in a pressure cooker, but in like a fraction of the time. So I use my pressure cooker now way more than my slow cooker because I can do it on stream in like an hour. And I can make soup. Like when I would rather like let soup simmer for like 2 hours, I can make it in 15 minutes. It's so good. The $800 rice cooker. So what is, I think I've heard of the brand. I think that was the one we were watching a YouTube video the other day, and I said, that's like that well-known sushi rice brand. Zoroshi? Is that how you pronounce it? Okay, you could choose to put spinach in if you want. You don't have to. And then we're just gonna finish it with some fresh parsley. But look how good that is. Dold, it's depending on what you're cooking for the air fryer. Air fryers are good, like these two ovens have a built-in air fry function and we don't use it because it takes the same time to heat up the oven than it does an air fryer. The good thing about air fryers is they're just quick. So the good things about the ovens with the air fryer function is that you can do a larger portion, like you can do a lot more, like nuggets and chips and stuff. I did like the air fryer, and I have one. It's in the back, but I just felt like I just had to do batches and batches and batches of something to feed the fam, like to exceed myself. So that was the most frustrating thing. If you just want to use an oven, or if it's just you're solo or a couple, you're not cooking on a stream like me, cooking for a few hundred people at times, then, so that's how I like to justify it. Then yeah, air fryers are good because they're really quick. My brother and sister-in-law have 2 or 3, and they have different things, like they have their chicken going in one, and then they have their nuggets or their chips and stuff in the other. I love that emote, Dex. It's really cool. Look at this. What do you reckon, guys? I just added a little bit more water just to thin it out. Look how good that looks. Yuzi's got one. Yuzi loves it. All right, last little thing is adding a little bit of butter at the end. That's equivalent to like half a teaspoon. I know it looks big, but it's really thin sliced. Just getting a bowl. I like the dull grey colour. Thought you might. Guys, so good. All right. So So I think this recipe is a banger. I'd never done it with vegetable stock before. It's always chicken stock, but I think it works. Even like, I think just as well without chicken. Dang. Like I said, I don't mind it with a bit of blue cheese swirled through as well. Even though I'm not a fan of mushrooms, I would try that. Nice. Dex, I'll have to get you to make